Okay. So yeah, so yesterday we have seen like how to create the service appointment from the UAE, right? How the KAR will go. KAR will go to handover detailed record, and from there they will create the service appointment. Okay. So the other way of creating the handover appointment is from customer portal. We have a developer portal. From there, customers can create the appointment by checking the time slot and all. They can create from the portal itself. So for that, we have created 5 APIs, 5 endpoints we have created to make the customers to create the appointments from their side in the Livaldar portal. So first API is to get the handover appointments. So we have a handover detail record, right? Let me take that.
1 minute.
Okay.
Aditya, please don't feel shy to ask any questions because Livaldar, we are going to revamp some thing. Okay, this appointment and all this. There is a new features is coming. Okay, okay. So try to understand as possible as you can. Sure. Am I am I audible, Aditya?
Yeah, I
Yes,
already.
audible.
Okay, okay. Your voice is too low.
Yeah, this is some problem with the Aldar's laptop. Even with the other attached mics, it does not work
Okay,
properly.
anyway, you are able to hear us or
Yes,
you are able to hear Faiz correctly. Okay,
yes,
make sure you are everything is
yes.
transparent. Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, in the handover detail, we have records, right? QA. Okay, let me take this section. Okay, so we have different sections, right? We have seen yesterday home validation, appointment, desnagging, ban violation, show around, and key handover. So from portal, customers can create only 3 appointments. Bank valuation they can create, key handover they can create, and desnagging also they can create. So once the page load in like level that like in the customer portal, they need to show like we need to show whichever appointments are already created, already rescheduled, already cancelled, right? So for fetching those appointments, we are creating the first API. So for getting the handover appointments, so they will basically pass unit ID and service request ID, and from this we'll send a response like this. Okay, we'll send a list of service appointments. Basically, in that list, we have like 3 entries. Okay, 3 appointments we have. I'll show the class. Okay, so they basically they'll pass unit ID and service request ID. So from the unit ID and service request ID, we'll from the service request, we'll get the handover detailed record ID. And in the handover detailed record, we'll fetch these 3 appointments if it is present in the record database. Okay, and we'll formulate that to a wrapper and we'll send it as a response like this. We'll get the SR record. Okay, in the SR record we'll query the handover detail record. We'll query these 3 appointments: home orientation appointment, desnagging appointment, and the handover appointment, and we'll formulate it to a particular list and as a wrapper class, and then we'll return this particular wrapper to the level. So this is what we see here. When we pass unit ID and service request ID, we'll get the response as it like this. Okay. In the appointment list, we'll get the 3 appointments. If already like if only 2 appointment is created, then the list will like the response will return only two entries in the list. Then the next API is regarding the get appointment candidate. Okay, so here basically what we return is a list of resources available, and like basically they'll pass project name. Okay, so yesterday we discussed under one project there can be multiple units, and for each unit we have handover SR, right? So based on the customer, like based on the unit, they will send which is the project name. Okay, from the Livaldar side, they will send. Yeah.
Sharing failed. Please try again.
Yes, go on, go on.
Okay. Yeah. So project name they will pass. Okay. Appointment type also they will pass. Okay. They can pass 3 type, right? Home annotation, key handover, and snagging they'll pass, and start date and end date. So what we do here is that like we'll send the time slots. Okay. Between these 2 days, we'll send whatever time slots are available, whatever resources are available for this particular appointment type. We'll send as a response. Okay, we can see here work type ID we'll send. Work type ID means like home orientation ID. Okay, we have a record of like what type created from home orientation, right? Yesterday we have gone through that. So that we will return, along with that, we'll return these things. Start time will return, end time will return. Resources. Resources means yesterday we have seen, right? Like service resource one, two, three. So like that, it will send as a list, okay, the candidates. So it will send the all time slot available within this particular time frame, and whichever resources are available, they will pass in that particular list. So
Okay.
from
Faz, if it is possible, can you open this in, your Salesforce Inspector REST resource? I mean, consume those endpoints if it's easy for you, only then.
okay, you mean like you need
Yeah.
to see the real time like response, right?
Yeah, yeah. If it is easy, at least for the GET APIs, if it's possible.
Okay, let me. Can I use the workbench?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Anything is fine. So I will just reiterate what we have seen. So
Mm,
first API is for getting the appointments, whatever is booked. So all of them would be shown in the first API. Second is while you are trying to book at that time, this you call the third second API, and based upon that, our system confirms which slots are open, and then it helps in confirming new appointments based on resource availability.
No, no. Like before
Yeah.
booking the appointment, they will hit the second API to know like which are the time slots, which are the resources available. Then only they will
Okay.
come up and create with that particular time slot. So here there are multiple time slots it is showing, right? So they will show, I think in Livalda portal, they'll show the time slots and the customer
Okay,
can
bro.
choose a particular
Yeah.
slot and create the appointment.
Yeah. One question here, bro. Is there any scenario where the resource contention happens, like multiple users have tried to book the same resource? Is that a possibility here? Because we are first fetching and then setting, right? So,
Mm.
and if I assume this is done via the Livildar app, right? So this can be cached over on their side, and is there any possibility that a same resource is being tried to book twice, or is there any other mechanism when you basically send your response, yeah, you need to book for this slot, and then it also validates in the back end whether that specific resource is available or not, and then you throw the error message on the front end, like something like
Mm.
that happens?
Yeah, so for when a particular appointment is created with a resource, okay, then
Mm.
whenever the other customer try to create the appointment, like to get the slots, at that time this particular resource will not be visible within this time slot. Okay, so like if we are like if they are creating with this resource itself, okay, in this particular time frame. I have already created one appointment with this time slot for this resource, and again I'm trying to create. At that time, we'll get error. Will get a system error like the service resource is not available like that. It will get.
Got it, bro. Got it.
So let me try it. I'm not sure like unit ID and service request ID it is for. Okay, let me try to hit it from here.
And bro, one more question. In my previous org, we used to have something called booking unit number instead of an ID. So, do we make some kind of similar reference in Salesforce as well? There used to be some EF something slash something, those sort of unique identifiers for units.
Unique identifier for service appointment, is it?
No, no, not for units, booking units. I hope units are booking units, right? Uh,
Yeah,
maybe
like a
an
unit ID itself is like unique in right.
Okay, so even when we basically suppose we are sending an email to the customer, for example, for the handover process or for the
Mm,
desnagging request, at that time we actually send them this, yeah, the booking unit's ID, that what we have, and then say, yeah, your this specific booking is unit is being processed. Uh,
got it.
uh, the okay.
Okay. So like you are telling like whenever we book the appointment, how we are getting like whichever unit is like used for booking, is it? How can
Yeah,
we
yeah.
get that
So
right?
Yeah, yeah. So in the previous organization, I have seen that being utilized like for multiple purposes. That's why I wanted to know whether it's something similar over here as well or not.
Uh, I'm not sure. Like, what are you expecting? Like, which
L-
unit?
For example, okay. So suppose I have a flat in a building in let's say Mumbai. My
Mhm.
apartment's name is maybe Elcon something, and my room number is 505 A wing. So
Okay.
would are we capturing something similar on the units here as well?
I think
Yeah,
not
one
sure
minute, one minute.
about that.
Aditya, just to clarify,
Yeah.
here we have a project. The structure is like this way. Here we have a project. Under the
Mm-hmm.
project, we have building section. Building section
Okay.
means your towers, okay? And then
Yes.
units. Under building section, you get the units, okay? So this way,
Yes.
the project structure. You go on through the object model. If you have access, you can easily understand. Go to unit, and here and there unit. We have a sales order, and then this. So you will easily get to know.
Okay. I will check more.
Okay, so I'll just go through this class. Get.
Okay. Appointment candidate service.
Okay, so basically we'll get project name, appointment type, start date and end date, right? So here,
Mhm.
okay. So here we'll check, okay, whether okay, we'll get the work type group ID from the appointment type. They're passing home orientation, right? So from that we'll get, we'll query the work type group record. After that, we'll query service territory record. We have project name, right? So from the project name, we'll query the service territory. For each project, we have each service territory, and it will show the exceptions when it is not found, and then come here. Okay, so here, if they are not passing any date, okay, it is optional. Start date and end date is optional. So what we are doing, if they are not passing, we are making a particular date, like from current date and time, it will show up to 10 days time slot. Okay, if they are passing start time
Mm.
and time, like end date, we are fixing start date and end date, and we'll show in the time slot in between those time frame. And then we'll call the other class. Okay, we'll call appointment candidate service from here. We'll pass work type ID, work type group ID, service territory ID, scheduling policy ID, start time and end time will pass. And here we'll get the slots. It's actually standard like Apex method provided by Salesforce for scheduler for getting the appointment candidates. So when we pass these details here in this particular part, we'll get the time slots along with related service resources. So we are just getting, and we are just returning this particular response to the web service, like to the API call out. Okay, so we'll basically get start time, end time, territory ID, resources. Over resources are available for this time slot, and in the top we'll get work type ID. So whenever they go, like they will get this particular IDs, work type ID, territory ID, start time, end time, everything, resource ID. They can utilize this for creating the service appointment. Okay, so basically user will get whichever time slots are there available for this resource for this appointment. And the next step is utilizing that they'll create a new appointment. So here this is the third API, create service appointment. Okay,
Mm.
create service appointment, they will pass work type ID, which they will get from here, this response, the previous response. Territory ID, they will pass start time, end time, resource ID, unit ID, service request ID, also they'll pass. So in response, they'll get all the details along with service appointment ID they'll get. Okay, I'll show this class. Web service. Okay, so they will pass all the details, and from here, we are okay. So, like basically what we seen yesterday, right? In the parent record, it doesn't support handover detail. So we'll just create a work order for connecting the handover detail record and the service appointment record. Okay, so for that we are creating a work order with these values, just like yesterday what we have seen in the screen flow, just for connecting handover detail and service appointment. And we'll give this particular work order ID record in the parent record ID field of service request. Then we'll query service territory record. We have project name. From that, we'll query service territory. Then this thing, okay, this is also the standard Apex method provided by Salesforce for scheduler. So when we use this, like if we create a particular service appointment for a service resource in a particular time frame, start time and end time, that particular time will not come again. So if we use a normal insert operation here, I think that particular time slot will come again and again, and it is not like we cannot rely on that. So that's why we are using the standard Apex method to reflect whenever an appointment is created, that particular time slot and that particular resource should not be shown it again. So that's why we are going with the
Okay,
standard
one minute,
Apex.
one minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Can you explain this to me? Like, what do you mean by that? If we
Okay,
do a standard insert operation at that time, it would show like show where.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Asham.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So whenever we use standard insert operation, in the second step we are getting the ID, right? We in the second step we are getting the time slots and resources available, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if I use an insert operation, okay, and I
Hmm.
create a service appointment with this resource, with this work type ID and all, with a normal insert operation, at that time, an appointment is created. And when I tried this API to API, this particular slot will show it again, which should not be shown,
So
right?
you are
Already in
you are
appointment.
saying, yeah. So you are saying that those two call outs are not synchronous in nature. They happen simultaneously in parallel. That's why basically what you're trying to say is it won't be immediately reflecting, or the DML operation is a bit slow till it finishes the whole life cycle what we have in Salesforce. So what you are connect.api, what you're using is it expedites that process and immediately reflects and does not show the already booked demo
Yes,
appointment what
correct.
you had.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I am not sure how that works, but fine. I will have to see. I was not aware of this
Uh,
functionality.
okay, okay. So here, yeah, this is the standard Apex method provided by Salesforce. Here, let me show. Okay, here from this, basically these are the standard fields. Okay, let me take it. Service territory ID, service territory ID, work type ID, parent record ID, start time, end time. Okay,
Hmm.
we need to pass. Like we'll get these IDs from the request, right? So we can directly pass it here. Okay,
Hmm.
and apart from that, there is external field. Okay, so external field other than these IDs is territory, what type, parent record, start time and end time. Other than this field, if you need to populate any other field, for example, if you need to populate record type or if you need to populate appointment type, a street, anything, we need to go with like this. Okay, we need to write like this, connect API, external field, and we need to create an entry like this city, and we need to populate the value. So name is nothing, but it is the API name of that field, and value is the value we need to populate in this particular record. Okay, so name, I'm like, I need to populate city, state, country, all things that I'm doing like this. And here we need to add it in this list. We need to create a particular external field list here, and then we need to add each entries like this. And then here we can write here external field list, so that this particular field values are also get added to the appointment that is going to be created as a part of this. So here, okay, appointment mode also, like I'm putting it as a regular. And then we can create appointment, like it will create the appointment here, service appointment, input. Okay, so running like here in the test class, I'm getting one error regarding this particular thing. So like I'm excluding this particular code running in the test class. Okay, so basically here we can use create input method. Okay, create input for creating the service appointment. And for service resource, we need to declare like this: connect API assigned service resources input. Okay. And in this variable, we need to give the ID of service resource. Is required is true, is primary resource true, like that. And also like what we have seen in the external field, we need to add it here in this particular list. This is actually the standard Apex method. I'll send the like URL of this particular documentation, all process. Okay, scheduler Apex method. So I think you will get much more idea regarding like when you go through that. And in here, appointment result will get service like appointment ID. Okay, which we'll send in return. In the response, we'll send the service appointment ID. Start time, end time, everything we'll get from the request data. So we are passing it as a response along with service appointment ID. Then here we are getting the work type ID. So we have a handover a detailed record, right? After creating the service appointment, we need to populate these sections, form orientation, desnagging. For that, we have written like this. Okay, form orientation and all. It is populating appointment and resource. Okay, other fields are like formula fields. These are all formula fields. Only these two fields are like populating from Apex and Flow: accommodation appointment ID and resource. So
Hmm.
we'll populate this, and yeah, if any like if like you asked, if already a resource is like used for a particular slot, when we try to create this from here in the like exception, it will show a particular exception like uh, I don't know the exact message, but it will show an message like service appointment cannot be utilized like that. It will get some error while creating the book like service appointment. So this is the third API for creating the appointment.
Hmm.
And then fourth one is for rescheduling the appointment. Okay, for example, like if the customer needs to change the time slot, or if the customer at that time, like they can reschedule the appointment, they can call the second API again, and they will get those details, right? Whichever time slots are available, whichever resources are available, they will get. And from utilizing that particular ID, they will hit this particular API. They'll pass service appointment ID. So this is the ID that already like service appointment is already created, right? We are going to reschedule it. So we'll pass the service appointment ID. Here, work type ID, territory ID, start time, end time, service resource, unit ID, request service request ID will pass. So start time, end time, and service resource ID are the new IDs, like new like for the new appointment, like for rescheduled service appointment, whatever time it should be. So we should provide those time and service resource ID, and the system will create like will reschedule the appointment. Let me show that code. Okay, here we'll get the data, we'll call this method. It is like similar to what we have seen, like booking the appointment. Just like that, we'll fetch all those details from the existing service appointment. We'll create a new appointment.
Hmm.
Okay, we'll create a new appointment. We'll make it as scheduled. That's all. And then we'll update the this one like handover detailed record. We'll update just like that flow how it is working. So like that only. We'll create a work order. A work order is already there, right? Work order is already there. We are just getting the work order and we'll connect it with the service appointment that is going to be created. Then we'll give the resource ID and all. We'll create it. We'll just pass the work type ID, territory ID, everything will pass as a response. And in the handover, like to populate the handover detail, like we'll be using this particular part. That's all. So basically what we do here, we create a new appointment instead of rescheduling. So at the time of like there is one code for rescheduling, I remember from the Salesforce standard like Apex method. But when we try that, we are getting one error. Like we have already like I have already told right yesterday. So we are getting one error. So we connected with Salesforce support also like we couldn't find a resolution. So Shiva like our formally like suggested like this to create a new appointment to delete the old appointment so that the deleted appointment time slot will not reflect again, like will not come in the time slot again, as well as the new like appointment will check for the existing time slot and resources, whether it is already created or not. So we are going with this method. As you see here, there is one delete service appointment record. It is there. This is the existing service appointment record. So similar, like the same process what we have doing in the flow level. That's like same thing we are doing in the reschedule part here. Okay. And then
Yeah.
the fourth one, like fifth one is canceling the appointment. So for canceling, we need to pass the existing service appointment ID, whatever ID territory service, like start time and time service resource unit ID, and also like we need to pass cancellation reason. Okay, you open this. Okay, we'll get the details. We'll call this method cancel appointment. And here in this method, just we'll get the service appointment ID. We'll just make it as cancelled, status as cancelled. Cancellation reason will populate and will update. So once it is cancelled, here like the time slot will move. Let me show you. So here we can see, right, there is a assigned resource, there is time slots already, like start time and end time, it is already there. So when I just change the status as cancelled, okay, the assigned resource will go and the time slots also will go. Schedule start and end will like go. So at that time, it means that whenever we are making the status cancelled, then the time slot and resources will be available. Okay. In the second API, they like it will return right the existing time slot and appointment candidates resources. So at that time, they will be available. When we
Mm.
cancel, we change the status to cancelled. So these are the 5 APIs that we like developed for the level that handover appointments integration. Then okay, so from two places they can create either KR can create from the UI in Salesforce UI or the customer can directly create from the portal. I think here we have developed this one. I think Livaldar is Livaldar is working on this particular requirement in their configurations, doing the developments in their site in the portal. So I think it is not live yet. These things are in a site environment. After testing only, we will move to production.
Hmm.
So this is like scheduler. Uh, and one thing, okay. And okay, then permission set we need to configure scheduler. Here we have service resources, right? Resource 1, 2, 3. Here in each particular resource means each user. So we need to provide a user here. Okay, it should be technician. Like if the resource type is technician, then only it will come in the flow. In the screen flow, the names should come, right? If it is a technician only, then it will come. And this particular user have one permission, needs one permission. Let me show. Scheduler resource permission. Otherwise, like if we didn't assign the permission to the user, this particular resource will not appear in the list of service resources, okay, in scheduler. So this is the permission that we created, scheduler resource permission. This one, let a user be included in appointments in Salesforce scheduler. This is the main thing, like that the user needs. Like this permission that the user should have, then only that user can act as a service resource in scheduler and over like any scheduler.
Hmm.
Appointments. I think that's all regarding the handover scheduler. So basically from UI they can create and from web service classes they can create. This is like yeah, I'll provide you in the entire list of components that we used like for this part. Yeah, that's all regarding the scheduler one. So this is
Okay.
currently like users are testing this. After testing only, we'll proceed to move that to production.
Okay.
Then yeah, that's all for today, I think. Yeah, so I'll share you the components, like India components for this handover scheduler.
Mhm.
Might be today, tomorrow, like we can discuss the other developments.
Yes, yes. So these changes are also in the service dev org, right?
Yeah, in the service dev, yes.
Okay. All
I
right.
think you can, you have access, right? In service dev.
Yeah, yeah, I have access. Yeah.
Okay. So might be you can
If I
go through
get
that.
time today, yeah, if I
Mm.
get time today, I will try to check it out.
Oh, okay, fine, fine.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.